So, hello everybody, and welcome back to the And More Virtual Bus YouTube channel. It's me, And More Central, otherwise known on this channel as And More Virtual Bus. Yes, that voice that you hear is the exact same one. As long as you don't hear it in your sleep, we're all doing well. That's my job, and that's what I do. In front of us, we have KXO4 RDU 15404, a ex-Stagecoach Midland Scania OmniDekka, which is now with the Big Lemon / Seaford and District / what they're operating as this week. Nice operation down there. They kind of just need to pick a name though, and they're kind of trying to run both of them at the same time. It's getting a bit confusing. Now, obviously, this vehicle never wore this navy blue. I refer to as more black, but Stagecoach refer to it as navy blue. Brand new, we've got you livery. Obviously, a Scania OmniDekka has not worn this. They don't run OmniDekkas anymore. However, in the world of OMSI 2, anything is possible, and an individual has come up with this repaint very, very recently. And I thought, because it looks absolutely awesome, that I would have a little drive of it on a bus that I've at least been on one of this batch. I don't think it was this one I went on. It might have been a different one, but I have been on one of these very, very recently, and that's coming out in an And More Central video very, very soon. So, basically, this is going to be our bus for another drive on the Lincolnshire version 5 beta. So Lincolnshire version 5 is nearly done, and my good friend Mr. Moose passed me across a copy of this about a month or so ago, of Lincolnshire version 5, of the new extension to the 47. So the 47 at the moment operates sort of the other side of the route. It goes, I'll have a look at the destination because I can never remember the name of it. It goes to Holcroft, that's the one. It goes to Holcroft at the moment. But on this new extension to the map, the 47, the other side to the 47 is added the bit up to Ordsall estate. So in real life, the 47 is a cross-town Retford service with the 47A on occasional trips, operating between Holcroft and Ordsall via Retford bus station. Trips start and finish at the bus station for ease. This route also now has an evening timetable. I was having a chat with this with Mr. Moose a couple of months ago, actually, when I was doing a bit of driving at South Pennine, and having a little conversation about it, actually. And we had a little chat about how all these routes have been made, and then Lincolnshire have done an incredibly big service change. Which does include late night trips on the 47, so nothing else runs in Retford after about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, but there is now a night bus till about 11:30 with the 47. That I think is really cool. But yeah, with that aside, we're going to get the machine all set up. The iconic 3922 number as the pin always is on these virtual OMSI 2 ticket machines. There we go. And we'll find where this is. I've gone past it. It's all going really well, guys. Oh, they're all in that order. Does that mean if I do this, it's not going to come up? Oh no. That's the AI. It comes as the AI. Oh, it's fine. We've managed to scroll it. That's fine. And we've got the blind that we need. And I have just literally got rid of it. That's really annoying. There we go. And I'm going to assume that's going to come on the blind very soon. Hopefully. We'll just click it manually. We will click it manually. It's wanting to play up. There we go. We'll get it on manually so it works. Get some lights on. Get some interior lights on. It is a little bit cloudy day. Wait for the blind to give us a number, which I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping I haven't broken the destination blind. Wouldn't surprise if I have. I think I've broken it. There we go, fixed it. Yeah, that's what you got to do sometimes, is set it to blank and then reset it and it works. So this is the Scania OmniDekka, the Master Switch Studio Scania OmniDekka. Now in real life when I record this, I'm likely to be driving this tomorrow, one of these tomorrow. I haven't driven an OmniDekka for quite a few months. I do like OmniDekkas, as you probably all know by now. I properly learned driving buses with OmniDekkas. Now I passed my test and did my test in a Volvo B9R or B7R coach. I think it was B9R with Sun Diggy bodywork. Really nice vehicle. But when I got into service, the first vehicles I drove on a regular day-to-day basis were some lovely, bit rough in edge, bit rough in parts, but overall quite lovely. Scania OmniDekkas in the form of the first ex-First Scotland East examples that were acquired by Yorkshire Buses for use on the Huddersfield Stores whole uni contract. So I absolutely love Scania OmniDekkas. This is what I became accustomed to. The vehicles that I drove were all now scrapped, unfortunately, but we can drive them in the virtual world. I am still waiting for someone to make a Yorkshire Buses repaint for the Scania OmniDekka so I can drive YB03 again. For those watching, if any of you do fancy making that happen and making that a reality, then please feel free to let me know when you do, and I will be quite happy to drive the bus that I used to drive in real life in the virtual world, because that would be really cool. Always is really cool to drive a bus you drive in real life in the virtual world. Oh, I've zoomed the camera in. I didn't mean to do that. I think I held on the mouse pad then. Held on the mouse pad accidentally. There we go. Oh, I've got rid of... It's all going really well today. For some reason, I keep leaning on the mouse pad. I'm just going to have to just keep my hand away from the mouse pad.
Hello, driver.
Hello. What?
So we're going to just up the time a little bit because I'm going to get bored otherwise. There we go. See if anybody else shows up. It's been a while since I've been to Retford. Nowadays, with it all sort of being in Barra 400s, the most exciting stuff at the time of filming have to be the workshop-based 56 plates. So they've got an 06 plate 19013 and a 56 plate 19064, both of which are on the to-do list. Don't know when that's going to happen, but they are on the to-do list nevertheless. Those lights quite dim. Just want to admire the livery actually as well. The application of the livery is absolutely spot on. This repaint is really good. Incredibly clear. There is a 2K and a 4K variation. I'm using the 4K because it's showing off. Showing off the repaint. We can use the 2K. It's got all the branding on the side as the place that got the new Stagecoach colours into service first. Stagecoach Yorkshire, we had 11716 with its retrimmed interior. I can say that I really do like the application of this livery. It's got everything you need, and as I say, it's even got the hi there sticker with all the information on, and some adverts that I do think are really cool, because I do think it would look a little bit better without adverts. So I do have quite a few repaints for this. This is definitely becoming one of my favourite vehicles to drive in OMSI. I don't know if you can tell with all the previous photographs, not photographs, sorry, videos. Photographs. But they are my favourite buses. I do have lots of photographs of Scania OmniDekkas like, but it is becoming my favourite bus to drive in OMSI for all the videos I'm doing, as you've probably seen. It is an absolutely lovely bus to drive. I have downloaded a lot more repaints, so there are going to be a fair few more videos with this bus in different variations as well. I've got some longer length repaints for the longer variation and some for the shorter wheelbase variation that I drove in service. The only thing I really do hate is where that protection screen bar is. I just feel like because you can't move the cab position like you can in real life to stop that being an issue, I feel it's just really irritating, because you are just there just like having to peer above or below it. So I think what I would really like to see in an update with this vehicle is just lowering or heightening that bar just a little bit, either way, just a tad, would be really good. So as I say, a reminder, as usual, when we drive work in progress maps, it is still a work in progress. I have been kindly provided with this map to show you all the amazing work that Mr. Moose is making on Lincolnshire, and specifically focusing on the Retford towns. Now, there might be bits that you may see that are not 100% complete, things that are unfinished, and things that still need finalising. AI traffic might behave in a strange way, and AI people might decide to do odd things. Just bear in mind that this, again, is a work in progress. It is still in beta stages. That's what we're doing. We're showing it off and testing it at the same time. So just bear in mind that when you do get this map, it will be a creme de la creme, perfect product, thanks to all the little bits and bobs that still need sorting at the time that I'm filming. So just bear that in mind. I don't like it when it gets tight like this. We go. We are going to utilise, because I'm not driving in real life, we are utilising the OMSI 2 cheat of F3 to look around the bus and go around tight bends like that. Because I'm allowed to do it, because I'm in the virtual world. If I did that in real life, I think the passengers would get upset. If I sort of pinged out the cab at about 50 miles an hour to check myself going around the bend, I think we'd have some issues. I do like OmniDekkas. As I say, I've driven good ones. I've driven some very rough ones. I've broken them on numerous occasions, but I still love them. They are still absolutely tremendous buses to drive. And again, just like I mentioned in my previous video on the Wheel Forward Street Line, these new buses in OMSI 2, just as now, because I drive the buses and I have driven the vehicles that I showcased to you all in real life, that is a luxury, and really is a high-end luxury of mine, and I'm absolutely honoured to have had the opportunity to drive the types of buses in the jobs that I do. Being a freelance bus driver means that I help out quite a few of my different friends at different companies, because I have quite a lot of friends in the industry, so I'll try and help them out, give myself a little bit of extra cash here and there as well, that kind of thing. So because of that, I have managed to drive my fair share of different vehicle types. Still a lot of vehicles I haven't driven yet that I do want to have a drive of, but I have driven my fair share of vehicle types. And I think when you do that, you especially appreciate the modern bus mods that we're getting in OMSI 2, just purely because of how detailed they are and how realistic they are, how accurate the driving is on them. And just the manoeuvrability, the cabs, the buttons, everything. And as I say, it's got obviously the handbrake on and off written in sort of pen, because in real life this area is usually destroyed because these body panels were not built strong enough to cope with the pressure in the handbrake. That is really funny, because you sort of get it where the sort of handbrake decides to destroy the panel and becomes one. So I've seen them where they've had to put sort of like gluey material on it. They've had to put a piece of metal in. I've seen all sorts. So again, I really like the writing. If it had been put on there in just a standard original text of which it was new, I would have said that this bus was unrealistic. But that extra detail shows you the realism, because I have yet to drive a Scania OmniDekka. This is an OmniDekka, not an OmniCity. Scania OmniDekka, which has not had that area of the panel completely destroyed beyond belief. I'm yet to drive one. So just really cool additional feature. So yeah. I have also been listening to people's comments. I do read them. I don't always get a chance to reply to them, I'm afraid. Life is just really hectic. That I do apologise about, because I do like to reply to my comments. It's something that I know that people do appreciate when folk do reply to them. I understand that. So I really do try, but I do read them. Please do be assured that, yes, I might not be able to reply to every single one, but I do read them. I do scroll through them on an evening, sometimes with a cup of tea, sometimes with something a little bit stronger, depending on the day. and I do read through your comments, and I do have a little look, and if I can and I get a chance, I do reply to them. But a few people were mentioning about the sound, the game to me ratio, me being a bit quiet, that is not something I get told about often. If there is any issues with the sound now, I have literally just changed it because I've just remembered midway through this trip, as I was talking about the handbrakes, I've literally just changed it. Let me know when you watch this video what it's like, if you'd like it to be adapted any bit more than when I do my next big recording chunk, because I'm recording a couple of videos this evening for the next few weeks, because I fancy just an evening on OMSI too, why not? Do let me know, and in the next chunk I will try and edit it. We will get there by Christmas, and we will be spot on with the audio, or we will. That is the plan. Oh, I'm glad I didn't mean to carry that narrow bit. For those of you that did watch my first video when I took a bus round this route, that was an absolute nightmare, was that section trying to get round. Again, just like it probably is in real life, but in real life, cars will probably stop eventually to let you out, or you'll force them through, or you force your way through and they have to reverse. In the AI world of OMSI, the AI traffic is a bit more vicious, so you don't get that luxury like you do in real life, where it is another human at the wheel. How are we doing for time? We are bang on time. Excellent. That's what we like. I do also wish to clarify that these routes are quite busy in real life. We're not talking like busy fill a double-decker, although double-decker does usually do them because it sort of interworks with schools, I believe, in some shape or form. But when you've got the likes of an E200 on, these can be quite busy buses. They can be quite busy, and on certain trips, especially sort of around the lunchtime hour when I've been there, can leave with a fair few of the seats full. On the lower deck of a decker, so that people have to go upstairs, and on the single decker they do fill them up. So as I say, having only 3 passengers on, I must emphasise, it's quite rare for the 47 in real life. The issue is though, is because of how big the map is, when you put in the AI passenger settings, I usually, when I'm doing beta testing, work in progress testing, I do put the people settings quite low, so there we go. So I do put the people settings quite low just to reduce the AI people having a frenzy at each other, because that's what, for some reason, that's what they like to do in work in progress maps. They like to just spin around and round and round in random places. So I just switch them off because I know that it might not be perfect, but I'd rather just crack on. Don't deal with people, AI people causing me problems, because I deal with enough people in real life causing me issues when I go out driving. So that's why I sort of turn the settings down on work in progress maps. That's just a personal preference. Some people turn the settings up, like to test maps out to the max. I personally don't. I like showing off the maps, and obviously there are some bits and bobs that still need sorting here and there. But the AI people will continue to do what the AI people want, regardless of how much you've done the map. So I like to show maps in a positive light. Unless I'm doing a video specifically based on the amount of people that you carry, in which case it is a slightly different dialogue. But as I say, we're not doing that today. We're just having a little gentle ride around the Ordsall housing estate in Retford. That I must say, if it will look like this in real life, because again, Mr. Moose is incredibly talented at using pre-existing objects and making them look like realistic places. That is just amazing. Not having to spend years and years and years making custom objects, because some people that have done that in the past have spent that long making the custom objects, they've actually lost interest in the map making. So again, this is the perfect way to do it. Use the pre-existing stuff and make it look like that place, because we've got enough freeware assets now in the OMSI 2 world for the UK in order to create maps like this to give off that realistic effect. And as I say, the use of the trees, the fencing, the walls, the other buildings, the signage, spot on. Absolutely spot on. You cannot fault it whatsoever. I'm going to let that car through because that car's not going to wait. A car, not like in real life where I could go at that point and make it just, and that car will take the back end of my bus off. Oh, an industrial area. I forgot about this. It's been that long since I've driven on this map. I forgot about all of this, even though the last couple of videos I've done on this, I believe, have been on this route. So yeah, I entirely forgot about all of this. Really cool though. Again, just shows you the variety of bits and bobs within, like, even just housing estate areas on these sort of bus routes. Really, really cool. We've got the railways as well, as you can see on the right hand side, electrified because it is the East Coast Main Line that runs into Retford. And then you've got all the other random shops and bits and houses. It's just, how these maps are just made is just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. The attention to detail, the realism, the challenges created by the likes of parked cars, just amazing. Really, really is amazing. And it always just has always got me. Always got me that these maps are free to download. Maps like this, like the West Country, are free to download maps. Like, you don't need to spend 20-30 quid after buying the game. All you need is to get a couple of freeware buses. I mean, this is a payware bus, and as I say, if you play OMSI2 enough and you sort of really like specific buses like I do, I love these Scania OmniDekkas in real life. There we go, there's the obligatory spinning person on the right hand side. I knew there'd be one, knew as soon as I mentioned it there'd be one, always is. And you can spawn in like 2 AI people and one of them will still work out a way to spin around, no matter how much you try. So, but it always baffles me that these maps are free. Like, as I say, you can get yourself enough freeware buses. Yeah, you can buy the payware ones like I do, because I drive some of these in real life, and I think they're really cool. And I can put them in liveries of operators I haven't driven for, and things I've seen sort of on Flickr and in old magazines and stuff like that. And I can do that. I can drive that, and I think that's cool. But if you're not wanting that, you're just wanting to buy the game and just make most of these assets, you've got the likes of the E200s, MMC, you've got the likes of the ALX 400, you've got the Enviro 400, the C400R they call it. You've got all these basic buses that you can download, use them, drive on these maps, and have an absolutely, like, lovely time. Just driving around and jollying on these maps. Like, you can't fault OMSI2. It's absolutely spot on. And I mean, as I say, when you see the adverts for £27 and you think that's a bit expensive for a map based around a very specific time in the German Cold War, very, very specific few years, you don't realise that there's this much to it, this much you can download. And again, what I mainly cover is the UK side. So I mainly cover the UK maps, but there's maps for all over the world. I mean, as you all know, I from time to time drive in Hong Kong through the world of OMSI2. I can drive in Japan, I can drive in Russia, I can drive in America, I can buy an American DLC, I can buy Chicago, that I do have, and I do need to drive again, because I remember when Chicago came out and I thoroughly enjoyed that, so I do think that will make an appearance on the channel very soon. And literally everywhere in between you can drive. There are a few gaps, don't get me wrong, there's not that many Scottish maps, and unfortunately there's not that many, if any, Irish maps. I would love to see a map replicating an element of Dublin, or something like replicating air coach, possibly a coach map. I mean, I would quite happily pay for either Dublin or an air coach DLC. That would be really cool. I would very much happily pay for that. But as I say, there are a few gaps here and there, but there's that many maps to drive, there's that much to do. And I mean, as someone that, you see, that's the issue with this bar being here, it is one heck of a big blind spot. I absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. Because I had to tilt it down, and in real life, you would lower the seat. you would lower your seat in real life, or you'd heighten your seat. Probably judging by the seating position that we have quite high up, I'd lower the POV, lower the seating position, and then you can see under the bar. That's what really annoys me with this bus. That is probably my only gripe with this DLC, is that, and that is because the variations of these that I have driven have all had that removed. So because the ones I've driven have had that removed or altered, it annoys me. But as I say, I'd lower the seat. Now you'd lower it a little bit, like that. It's just creating such an unnecessary blind spot that just a slight tweak of sort of how OMSI 2 sets it up, a slight tweak of the set bar on this and how it's all set up could have altered that, could have changed it, and it really annoys me. Really, really bugs me. But anyway, as I was saying, as someone that has been around around the OMSI 2 world now for a decade, that is really, really scary. Been around for a decade, having seen OMSI 2 grow from what we used to drive that was a map called Newcastle, where Newcastle was the routes, the junctions and the left and the rights it did, but absolutely unrecognisable, to this, where yes, it is using the standard UK objects, object pool that we have, but they're used in such a clever way that I am driving through Ordsall Estate and I'm driving into Retford, and when I drive into Retford, I actually feel like I'm driving into Retford town. As someone that has visited that town numerous times, I do feel like I'm actually driving into Retford. That is really cool. To say that very little custom objects have been done for this, I think that's absolutely awesome. Really, really is. And as I say, a big leap compared to what we had a decade ago in the form of Newcastle that was made. As I say, at the time it was very, very good for what it was, because at the time it was the materials and the resources that we had, and as I say, use what we did at the time. But look at this nowadays, so good, so good. I also love the realistic Scania suspension over the bumps, where you can see the whole sort of bus jolting about. I think in real life an OmniDekka are a bit more of the dashboarded shape, but again, there are limitations to what we're able to do in OMSI. Oh, and this is that horrible road again. Oh, that horrible road. Oh, and he's going to be turning right into... Alternatively, just drive straight through the boss. Defeat the entire object of what I'm trying to achieve here and just drive straight through the boss. Like they did last time. I like the water. That's cool. How we're looking for lighting? Oh, we're looking alright, to be fair. Might wait for this car to go and then see what screening we can get. What I love about this is, having now ridden on one of these in real life, I really like the Stagecoach spec seating for the as part of the set vars. I do really appreciate it now. As I say, having been on one of this batch of buses in real life, when I was down south last week before, I was down there for 10 days, and I kept seeing this I definitely saw this one and the sister vehicle. I can't remember which one I went on. I really can't. It was either this one or it was the sister one. I can't remember. It is on YouTube. I will be releasing on YouTube very soon. I'll try and release it around the same time that this video comes out, just for that context. it'll go out to members first, and then it goes out to public a little bit later on the Ammo Central channel, and then it'll go out a bit later on the Bus Videos channel. But basically, having now been on one of these with that Stagecoach spec interior, I do really appreciate it. I think these are cool. These are a cool batch of buses, and it is very, very nice to see that they are still going down south in Sussex with the Big Lemon. How are we doing for time? Oh, we are a little bit early. I will hand it that. We did really well around the Ordsall estate, but then I sort of became a little bit more heavy-footed because I wanted to get some Scania fresh. So we are going to get back a little bit early, but it's fine. We can manage. Does sound really good as well. Just for the record, it sounds absolutely amazing inside. It's very much the peak of a reliable Scania OmniDekka that sadly, as time has gone on, is a very rare thing to find, unfortunately. But it does sound beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We do ignore the speed that we are doing. Remember, it is the virtual world. It's fine. It says, I know roads like this in real life are 30, but it's nice to hear the exciting OmniDekka sounds from the lovely N94 engine, especially now that the last OmniDekka in Sheffield with TM Travel 1174 has bored out. That's really sad. I'm absolutely gutted. I will be doing a video in the TM Travel red colours that 1174 wore because my last TM Travel livery video was really popular. So we'll be doing a video on that, I think, in the OMSI 2 world soon. There's a bit of a farewell to it. It's really a shame to see that it is bored out. Really is sad, but it was going to happen. I mean, those buses lasted about 2 or 3 years after beyond what they should have done. They should have gone out off the fleet about 2 or 3 years ago, but they just kept going and going and going. And as I say, last week 1174 finished. Now Notts and Derby is still running a couple from that batch. I believe they're running 1173 and 1175, and they might be running 1174 very soon. So they are running some from that batch still on their various contracts, but they're not in service as regularly. It is a shame, but as I say, we had a good run with them in Sheffield, especially saying that the Clean Air Zone was put in a couple of years ago. We had a very, very good run with them, I will admit. So I am going to pull into this stand because I'm very conscious that if I don't, they're all going to come up to me. Does that mean I've got nobody on? Does that mean I have just pulled into this stand for absolutely nothing? Oh, excellent. In that case then, and what we'll do is just for excitement factor, because we are on the stand for the 95, we will blind the bus up for the 95 to Gainsborough. There we go. So, you never know, people could get quite excited by the idea that, oh my god, is the Scania OmniDekka going to Gainsborough? Yeah, not today, not today. Maybe in another video we will drive. If you've all enjoyed this repaint and enough you watch it and like the video and share it with your friends, we might do another video with this lovely, lovely new Stagecoach livery. For now though, I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have done, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. If you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Virtual Bus YouTube channel for more content like this from the OMSI 2 virtual world. You can send in your repaints, bus mods, buses and maps to amc.andmorecentral@gmail.com. This is linked, if you didn't catch that, it is linked in the description below. Copy and paste it into your email from the description below, and you can send me across all your mods and bits you'd like me to show off in my upcoming OMSI 2 videos. As I always love showing off contributions that people who watch the channel have made. It's always really, really cool to see your own creation on the big screen. So do make sure you click that like button if you have enjoyed it, because that way we continue to keep the channel growing, because that way it comes up for more people who like similar content to you, that's OMSI 2 stuff, and then they watch it, they like it, and so forth and so forth, and then we can keep growing, and we can bring back some more live streams and bits like that, all the exciting stuff. For now though, thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.